Trade deadline frenzy from the DNVR Avalanche. We're talking about another forward today, one that has been in the trade rumors for seemingly forever.
Most of his career.
If you are a disciple of the one true Phil, this is the video for you. Phil Kessel, the hot dog eater himself, another right-handed shot, so that's got to bump him up the Avs list immediately. Obviously, Arizona looking to sell. There's a lot of conversation here. Jesse, you're in love with this guy, so what do you got?
That may be overselling it a bit.
He gets to start on the guy that he likes, and I had to take a backseat on Damon Severson? This is bullshit.
Look, if I don't throw to him, you will start every show. So, you want to pass your time?
I'll defer.
Okay.
I'll defer.
Get your wish.
My favorite aspect of this is the story that Blaze told us.
Me too.
Best burrito in town.
Yeah, that he already knows where the best burrito in Denver is, so that if he gets here, there's a comfort level.
And the best part of that is it's a food cart.
A happy Phil is a productive Phil.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, okay, look, the 6 goals that he has right now in Arizona is a joke. It would immediately double. Just by putting on an Avalanche sweater, it would turn into 13. The rest of his game, though, I can't stand it. It's so lazy. It is so shortcutty. It is everything that drives me crazy about Andrei Burakovsky's game, but without the goal scoring anymore.
Go ahead.
Nope.
A weird comparison here, maybe, but it reminds me a lot of Alex Newhook when he was still at BC. He stands there.
What?
He stands there, and then the puck gets near him, and the lights come on.
Okay. I mean, that was more Alex Newhook at Victoria, but okay.
It was at BC.
We're splitting hairs
the freshman year at BC a little bit. Anyway,
it's
not what we're
never a
talking
good
about.
thing when we're talking about a guy who's played 800 games in a row and comparing him to a freshman.
To an actual 18-year-old kid.
To an actual child there in at BC a couple years ago. Like we're moving backwards here.
Look, I'm not like in love with this guy as a player and as a trade target, but this is a guy for me that now, honestly, for the last 2 years, it's just made sense for what the Avs are looking for. I agree with you that I actually think the defensive side of his game could potentially even be problematic to the point where maybe the coaching staff would say, we don't know if we even want to bring this guy in, in terms of conversation with Joe Sakic.
Mike Hoffman here.
Right. But I just
good comparison.
I've said it a bunch of times on the show because I truly believe it, and it's part of why Andrei Burakovsky is so tantalizing, and you put up with so many of the mistakes. Yeah. It's the easy goal. Phil Kessel showed on 2 cup runs in Pittsburgh, especially playing in a bottom 6. You can roll him out there, and if your team is struggling to generate offense, struggling to get through, in the blink of an eye, Phil Kessel puts one in the back of the net. After him kind of coasting around for 20 minutes, he grabs a puck, it's in the net, and you have some life. And I just don't think you can ever put a value on that for a cup run. Well, you can easily put value on it, but you know what I'm saying.
We're about to later in this video.
It's just hard to find. There are not many guys who have that ability to just puck off the stick in the net.
They can change a game in a heartbeat.
Right.
The 3 big selling points here for me that you could talk me into, and they work together. Like they need each other for me to be sold on this, right? Because as much as watching Kessel drives me crazy now, if he's coming to Colorado, you know that you're getting Pittsburgh Phil.
Right.
Like you're getting the motivated guy who's going to show up for you, who's going to play for the other guys.
Yep.
He's just been toiling. He's been existing in Arizona.
Yeah.
He went to Arizona and was interested in it because of his relationship with Rick Tocchet. With Rick Tocchet gone, obviously, he's just like, I'm biding my time.
Very much in cruise control mode in Arizona.
Everybody knows. And so you don't really take, like, this is not Derek Brassard a couple years ago where you're like, did this guy just smash into the wall and he's not any good anymore?
Right.
This is a guy that when he gets back into a competitive environment, the light is going to come on and that try-hard will come back.
Yep.
The other thing, he's not in your top 6. You're not trying to force him there. You're putting him next to Alex Newhook.
Yeah.
You want to play him next to talent? Well, Phil Kessel's a pretty interesting guy.
Go.
Yeah.
Because he might quietly bitch about it, but if you give him 12 to 14 minutes a night, next to Newhook in an even strength power play-ish role, and you don't use that third line in a traditional sense
A little more offensive
trying
tilt,
to lock it
yeah.
down defensively, and you use it in more offensive situations, then I think you're putting those guys in a position. You're certainly helping Alex Newhook, who's going from Logan O'Connor on his right wing, or Nicholas Abe-Kubel on his right wing, or JT Compher
Phil
on his right
freaking
wing,
Kessel.
to Phil Kessel.
It's a weird conversation when you come to talking about price for Phil, because Arizona is already loaded on picks.
Go ahead.
It is an interesting one, and there's so much money being retained already.
And that's another reason why he was high on my list. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
But a huge chunk of his salary is already being retained by other teams.
And if you get Arizona, because he's a pending UFA, if you get Arizona to
retain
even
that much more,
then you're just and from an ownership standpoint, things are always easier when you can sell the owners on cheap money. But real cash, very, very low number.
Yep, because I think he was only owed just over $1 million.
It was one of those front-loaded deals that you
Yeah.
see so often now, where guys get older and then their last year is $2 million
right.
cash.
So it wouldn't cost Stan Kroenke a ton, like you said. A lot of that cap trouble is already taken care of, and then you're dealing with Arizona, who has, they're being talked about as being the third team facilitator for a lot of these bigger deals you're hearing around the league. So they're willing to eat.
Picks.
Right.
But what they don't need is picks for 2022. They can start building for 2023.
Right.
They already made a trade with Toronto for a second rounder in 2025.
Well, and it was like conditional.
A third
it
in
was
2023.
Like, it was a third in 2023 or a second in 2025, where you're like, oh damn.
Yeah.
How patient can you be?
Yeah. Well, and this is another one that
I don't even think it would be that expensive with Phil, because
I don't either.
Everybody on Earth knows this is an expiring dude. He's leaving.
Yep.
You're not, if the market never materializes and teams refuse to go past a certain line, they have to take what they can get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if that's a 4th round pick, where Colorado should be trying to do it is a Sampo Ranta type of thing.
I was just about to say
I
this.
would actually love that trade.
This to me screams, and we've said this 3 or 4 times down this video series, screams conditional pick mid-round. If he scores over X amount of goals in the playoffs, it gets bumped to a third, and you're done, or a prospect.
I just think they should value a prospect.
Yeah. I don't
Pro
Ranta,
prospect. Pull an Eagle prospect that they like.
Sampo Ranta is a dude they can drop onto their NHL team, and if he sucks for 2 months, it doesn't matter to them.
Yep.
Yeah. No, so but this is another one where, because of the money stuff, you're maybe even looking at a situation where maybe you don't have to send any money back. But again, if you do,
because so much money is being retained,
right,
and because Arizona is the other team involved, you're like, you might be able to just get them to be like, all right, we're just going to eat half of what's left of this thing.
Right. We'll eat half. You're below the cap. And then it really is, Sampo Ranta, or pick your prospect, right? One for one.
Well, and if I'm Colorado, I'm you're trying to figure out what are you going to get out of Shane Bowers or Martin Kaut or whatever.
Well, and those were the other two that I was kind of thinking.
I for me, genuinely, a Martin Kaut for Phil Kessel straight up makes all the sense in the world.
I agree.
For every party involved.
Martin Kaut goes and plays the last 6 weeks of the season in the NHL.
Arizona, he's an NHLer for them, 100%.
Right. And
I don't want Phil Kessel, and I'm working. I'm making your deal for you.
Well, and it's but this is really why the conversation we've had here is why I am still relatively high on Phil Kessel. I just think the cost versus, you make a great point, if you're going to get motivated, Phil.
Yeah.
And
he knows where to get a burrito. He's
right,
going to be happy on day one.
Right, and it's close to the arena, so he'll leave the first morning skate and walk right down there.
Is Arizona just moving down the list? They used to be all the Chicago cast-offs. Now they're becoming all the Colorado cast-offs. Is that where we're at with Arizona?
Well, they're still the Chicago cast-offs, but they're the Colorado prospects that have a difficult path to the NHL.
Fair.
Well, and this is the other connect. The NHL is run on relationships.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Who is the pro scouting director in Arizona right now?
Oh, hey, Alan Heppel.
The amateur scouting director who was in charge of Colorado's draft table when they drafted almost all of the guys in Colorado's current system.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you know that there's a level of familiarity there where if you're saying we don't want to give up a draft pick, but we will give up a prospect that Alan Heppel can give us all the deets on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and it's all of these reasons are why
Now I've convinced myself that this is absolutely happening.
There's a lot of things that fall into place where I think it makes sense, and you're putting him in a favorable situation, and you're giving a boost to some of your more skilled guys in the bottom 6.
I want to end this video. If someone can clip this and send it to Phil Kessel. Phil, anytime you're in Denver, whether you play for the Avs or not, free Breck Brew on me at the DNVR bar, and you have to try the Wagyu beef burger at the bar. Bud.
Well, and it's a shame Blaze isn't here. He'd be pitching the
pitching the
carnitas burrito. Yeah.
The Blazerito.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Phil, it's good food down here at the bar. You got to come through. So please do that.
No better place to celebrate a Stanley Cup win.
Let's go. Here for that. That is the Phil Kessel conversation. We still got plenty more forwards, probably better forwards and defensemen to talk about in this trade deadline frenzy. So keep on running through this playlist. We will be back with another video whenever it's ready.
Whenever you...